Hi, and welcome back to Comic Book Weekly. We'd like to thank you for watching. And one thing I'd like to mention is we had Halloween last week here, and we all got to wear our costumes. And I guess we didn't really get to post the video up because of some interference.
Our drunk friends.
But we got the pictures up on our Facebook page. You should check it out. It's on Facebook. It's Comic Book Weekly. So check it out. It's going to be really awesome. We got a really special episode for you this week. Tree here actually looks at the camera, and Lois gives his first non-10 rated comic.
That's not true.
and we're also going to It's now gonna 10. It's now gonna 10 miles. We give
I do what I want.
I want what I do.
Yes. And we also talked about movie adaptations on comic books. And today I'm going to be reviewing Alex Plus Ada, issue 1, out by Image Comics. Now, this comic is kind of set in the future where robotics is a huge part. They've got this technology in here which is really cool. It's like an implant in your brain where basically you can control everything. Like you have a TV in your head, you've got a phone, you control the lights in your rooms. You can just say lights on and then lights go on, lights off.
Yeah, we already have clappers
though. which I guess would be useful in this situation. But they're saying like non-hands-on stuff. It's actually pretty cool. The guys, they show it really well in the comics. It's really awesome. But one of the big things in this comics is the robotics. The whole idea that AI, artificial intelligence, was actually created, and well, these robots gained self-awareness and this accident happened, and some humans were killed, so they had human restrictions now on creating artificial intelligence.
Sounds like iRobot a little bit.
It does, and that's what's really funny about it.
Just creepy robot turn head. Good morning, Jordan.
That's why they got all the laws on creating AI. So the thing is, this comic book had a really great idea. It's a great story. You can tell it's gonna turn into a romance novel. So I still enjoyed it though. I give it 8 kapows. Now the art, on the other hand, I thought was only alright. I find it kind of dry. Maybe it's because I'm used to reading all the superhero comics where you see all the crumbling buildings and everyone's like looks beat up. But it's because everyone just kind of looks plain.
It looks nice, but there's not a lot going on.
Exactly.
On the page.
It seems like the action in it would be him spilling coffee on his white shirt and be like, no!
Yeah. So
it's well drawn.
So the art doesn't really give much explanation to what's like makes it look awesome, but I did like it. He does great facial expressions on the robots, and so I give it an honest 7 because I understand that there's more to what I want, but other people's do as well. So yeah.
That's on me. This week I'm doing East to West issue 7. It is a great issue in my opinion. It's a start of a filler story arc to explain a little bit of the things that we haven't really gotten to understand so far in the universe and why things are happening the way they are. So it's very informative and very good point to like help us reinstate things in this universe. The story I thought was phenomenal. I'm giving it 9 kapows. Just the interworkings of some of the characters that have history, other ones that we didn't even know about. Very well done. Also the art, I just love the way that they draw the facial recognition and the emotion in the faces, along with some of the more special mystical kind of things that happen in there. So I'm going to easily give that 8 kapows total. So I'm now going to pass it on to Lois.
Did you do the art?
Yeah, I just did the art.
You did?
8 kapows and 9 kapows for the story. Oh. You had a little bit relayed punch there.
Yeah,
like a spasm.
Anyway, this week, guys, I got Painkiller Jane, issue 1 from Iconic Comics, written by Jimmy Palmiotti with art by Juan Santa Cruz. Painkiller Jane's been around for about 20 years or so. Jimmy Palmiotti created her with Joe Quesada back in the mid-90s as like an independent character. She's evolved over time to become an incredibly well-rounded and strong female character, different from a lot of ones we're used to. If you don't know about her at all, her story is that she was a detective in the police force, and she was undercover, and her cover was blown, and the bad guys she was, trying to narc on shot her up with a whole bunch of drugs, and it ended up like super boosting her immune system, so she recovers really quickly from wounds and stuff. It's an interesting story. It's very different from a lot of things out there. There's a lot of different kind of things going on. This issue itself has 2 different stories in it. One that I'm guessing picks up from where Jimmy Palmiotti left her off last, and continues. It doesn't delve too deep into her past, but you get the idea of where she came from. And then the second part is more focused on her relationship with her best friend, who is still a detective in the NYPD, that she does a lot of like black ops work for, essentially, like under the table stuff that people don't know about. But it's an excellent book. I really liked it. The reason I picked it up was because when Garth Ennis took over the Punisher back in the early 2000s, he did a few crossover one-shots. One of them was with Jimmy Palmiotti, and it was the Punisher Painkiller Jane, which was a lot of fun. It was a good issue, and I liked it a lot, and I heard she got her own series, so I was like, hey, I gotta pick it up. And this is an excellent issue, start to finish, very good. I like the story a lot. I give it 8 kapows for the story. It's not like an extraordinary story that's going to be mind-blowing, but it's very good. It's well told. The art, on the other hand, is exceptional stuff. I was really impressed with the artwork. It's very crisp, it's very clean, very vibrant and colorful, really jumps off the page at you. I hadn't heard anything or seen anything by Juan Santa Cruz before, but I will definitely be looking for his stuff in the future because his work in this was excellent. So I give his art 9.5 kapows. And before I toss this over to the Shack, I gotta show you guys something.
Do you notice it looks like it's a bullseye right there?
I gotta show you this little gem that a friend of ours found at a dollar store. The Captain Cannot coloring an activity book. We're gonna color
Even
this.
has a little cutout on the back for you.
Yeah, and you can cut him out, and he's a little standy in the back. We're gonna color the shit out of this book later, for sure.
Shotgun Catman.
There's some funny stuff in here. There's
also, one way it's like this.
There's a really funny
that
picture of a
one's
couple of
awesome.
Matthews, but this is an absolute gem. I wish I'd found this myself. Anyway, so I'll send it over to the Shack Nest Monster.
Alrighty, today I'm reviewing Earth 2, issue 17. Pretty much all I have to say is Batman. Wicked. This is the reintroduction of Batman in the Earth 2 universe, because if anyone who has been reading, the first Batman, who was Bruce Wayne, died, and this Batman, Thomas Wayne, oh, spoiler alert, oh, I just pulled a New York Comic-Con, I'm sorry. Well, the writer Tom Taylor is Tom Taylor, and the artist is Nicholas Scott. This is a new writer to the series, and the way he's looking and taking the series looks great. It looks like he's putting a lot of twists to it, a lot of background. You could tell it's going to be going places. Although this issue is just mainly build-up, you could tell this comic is going to go a lot more places than the first one, with the first writer, James Robinson, didn't go. And it looks really interesting. I want to see where this goes. So for the writing, I give it a 7.5 kapows, because it was just a lot of build-up, but I want it to be a bit more. For the art itself, I gave it an 8 kapows. I really enjoyed the art. I just found like it was not a whole lot special, not a whole lot different. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Just wasn't special. And for our next segment, we're going to be talking about how comics influence the film, and how films influence comic books.
So I think probably the most important thing about the films, comic book films for us, is like, what's our favorite one? And I think it's pretty obvious which one mine is.
Daredevil.
Batman and Robin, with George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell.
Well, Bat Nipples,
Come on,
man.
Bat Nipples, yeah, the best. And
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Uma Thurman.
Hell yeah.
Uma Thurman's a great actor, just actress.
No, they want to be called actors now. Actress is discrimination.
And that movie was like the
way to
worst
alienate the
Batman
female
movie.
audience. But no, yeah, no, actually, it is a 2004 Punisher film, but right behind it's probably the first Iron Man movie.
Not Warzone?
Yeah, the first Iron Man.
first Iron Man The first Iron Man movie was amazing, and
Even the second one was great.
I hated the second one, but the third one, I love the third one for
Third one
2.5 hours, and then
No.
there's like 2.5 minutes of what?
No. So I finally watched Iron Man 3, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, they said this is awesome. Why isn't it like mind blowing? No, the whole movie I was like, it's good, but like, as soon as it was just basically like, I'm gonna do an action scene jumping from suit to suit majors, I'm like, that's kind of cool, but I just feel like it's just over the top. And then when she came out and just like punched.
Okay,
I was like,
don't ruin it for the
Jesus.
people who want to see the movie and go, ah, what a
Only good thing
shit
about
sandwich."
Iron Man 3, Ben Kingsley. That's
Ben Kingsley's a
I didn't like him. I only liked him for the like one scene moment where he's like, oh blah 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 blah.
I loved the Mandarin.
the Mandarin. The Mandarin.
The Mandarin.
He's a giant orange! That's what it is!
Rips off his face. Meh.
No, I liked it for the whole everything except for those 2.5 minutes. That like if you watch the movie, you'll know exactly what 2.5
Okay.
minutes I'm talking. You might have like parts where you're like, oh, this is what he was talking about. Yeah, I see what he. No, you'll hit it and yeah.
Okay, but hands down,
Yeah.
I would watch those 2.5 minutes for like a half an hour straight, then ever watch Topher Grace play Venom again.
Oh my goodness.
Hands down.
Or I'm gonna be Spider-Man now.
Spider emo flip. I'm Darkseid now.
Aren't I a badass now?
If I wear a black symbiote, I'm just gonna emo my hair. That makes me wearing a symbiote.
And do a musical number as Peter Parker.
A jazz musical number. 'Cause jazz is the
Oh,
symbiote's
Sam Raimi.
choice.
God damn you.
Does Sam Raimi actually do that?
Yeah, he did all 3 of them.
Oh my god, the first 2 were so fantastic.
I honestly,
Yeah.
I thought only the first one was
Yeah.
really decent.
I love the second one.
I liked Alfred Molina in the second one.
Yeah, freaking Doc Ock rock.
Like he,
But I just thought the movie wasn't very good.
same as like
I didn't even
Willem
really
Dafoe
like
was
the
the
first
perfect
one, but Willem
Osborn.
Dafoe was awesome.
perfect.
Willem Dafoe, I thought, was the savior of that movie.
But now, guys, we got all the X-Men movies as well. Like the first X-Men.
I
which
still
was
have to see
awesome.
Wolverine.
Awesome.
The second X-Men, which was overplayed, but it was good because it's Wolverine heavy. Then the third one, which was very confusing.
I loved it because you know
I
what? I
loved
thought
it,
one of
yeah.
the best casting jobs ever was Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
Yeah,
Oh,
true,
yeah.
That was so
awesome.
sick.
Grammer.
I actually remember going to see the first X-Men and being a comic book fan, like loving the X-Men for a
Yeah.
long time before seeing that movie. Not even collecting comic books yet, but there's just like a part in a bar and like on the TV you see like somebody doing an interview and I'm like,
Saying-
hey, of course, that's Beast!
Yeah.
In the middle of the theater and everyone's like, and you hear everybody, hey, the guy in the screen, that's Beast. Like, yeah, you're welcome. Like, so I was like, yeah, and then they finally busted him out, and it was Kelsey Grammer, and he's
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
who
he
did
made
the
it
voice in the cartoon and everywhere else, but it sounds like just when Kelsey Grammer
It should be
is the Beast, it's like, oh, that's perfect. It looked good. It was great. I mean,
Plus after that, we
like
also
clearly, Professor Xavier was drawn because of Patrick Stewart. Like that's just.
yeah.
Like it's just,
It's just scary
Like
how
Lara
much
Croft was drawn after Angelina Jolie. Somebody got a look at Patrick Stewart in the '60s and was like, "I gotta tell Stan Lee about this. This guy looks cool as can be. He'd be awesome in a wheelchair and have mind powers."
As much as I like talking about the movies itself, I want to talk about how the grossing films make so much money on comic book movies. Back when, like, I would say 15 years ago, 20 years ago, comic books movies weren't even nearly this
I
popular.
mean, when we had tinfoil rocket ships because we didn't have this thing called CGI as much.
It's true. It's true. The technology is up. And you know what? The movies also boost comic book sales because, like,
Exactly.
I wouldn't have probably got into Punisher comics without the 2004 movie. I watched the special features and was like, oh, cool.
Tom Jane was amazing.
Tom Jane was
I'm
amazing.
still upset that they haven't done anything with that short that he did to be like, yo,
Laundry.
Oh, they
Punisher
will.
again.
Dirty Laundry. They'll
Yeah.
do something with it. It's
They
gonna be-
need to do something soon.
Films. Another thing we don't talk about is fan films. When we were at Ottawa Comic Con this year, there was a group of guys who were doing a fan film Punisher
Not sure with
movie
Electro, right?
called Punisher No Mercy, which actually premiered early in October, and it's really good. I watched it. It's been getting a lot of press on the internet, and it's been doing really well on YouTube. The guy who plays the Punisher in the fan film, his name is Sean Baichu, and he actually did the voice of a bunch of Assassin's Creed characters. The girl who played Elektra, her name's Amber Goldfarb, and she did voices for a bunch of Assassin's Creed characters. And the cool thing for us is there are a bunch of guys from Montreal, and like we're Canadian, so it's always nice like when Canadian guys do well. And the movies
from Montreal Canadians.
Les Québécois.
Try and separate.
Vive le Québec libre!
Okay, you're now kicked out of the group. Just go sit in the corner.
We gotta appease the French viewers.
We love all Canadians.
It's
Appease.
Maybe not.
No offense to the French Canadians.
Except for Newfies.
No, we
Hey,
especially
man, I love Newfies. I love them Newfies.
What's wrong with you? No, but it's really good. If you get a chance to check out Punisher No Mercy, it's very good. Punisher Dirty Laundry came out last year or the year before.
It was last year.
Last year, and it's freaking awesome.
They never call it Punisher Dirty Laundry.
It's called Dirty Laundry.
Yeah, they just call it
They
Dirty
didn't want to
Laundry.
name
You know
it,
what
but
it is,
you know.
It's awesome.
I'm pretty sure he probably tried and they sued him and he still was going to go with it, and then they're like, no, we're not letting you have it.
What else? What's probably like the biggest
Avengers.
comic stinker?
Comic movie stinker?
Aside from Batman and Bat Nipples.
Batman, Robin, Daredevil, Elektra.
The 2004 Hulk movie.
Man Thing.
Yeah,
Man Thing was amazing.
Horror porn.
Does Howard the Duck count?
Howard the Duck was awesome. I
I
also
think
when
they
I was
do a
little,
reboot.
like Leah Thompson was one of the first women when I was little where I was like, she's really pretty. So Howard the Duck was always like one of the making out with a duck is weird, but I don't know. I think it counts. But I hated the Fantastic Four movie. I thought it was like, why would you get Jessica Alba and make her the Invisible Woman? Everybody wants to see Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
not the whole herpes.
Get Cameron Manheim. Someone we don't want to look at. You know, get Janet Reno. Get Janet Reno. No one would care. If Janet Reno was the Invisible Woman, she'd just be walking around like a shadow.
Sue Storm has always been known to be that good-looking figure. I just don't know why they put a mulatto as a good-looking figure.
Oh, now it's a race issue.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
I thought that was
about race.
If you're talking about race issues, there's a rumor about what's his face again?
Donald Glover?
No.
John Glover,
The guy from Chronicles.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan
Who's
might
in
be
Chronicle.
playing Firestorm.
Firestorm?
No,
Or
sorry.
Firestorm?
Johnny Storm.
Well, there needs to be one colored person
They
in
need-
Fantastic Four,
they need-
obviously, or else it just looks like they're a
But now-
team of the KKK.
They have
That's
an orange.
Fantastic K.
They
It's
have
gonna
an
be kind of
orange
creepy
guy. They have
though.
a big orange guy.
It's a bit creepy though.
They should get Donald
adopted
Glover.
black
If they're gonna
little
if
brother.
they're gonna change a character like Johnny Storm from a white person to a African American, it should be Donald Glover because he'd be perfect Johnny Storm.
No, Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just glad you're saying it right now. Anyway, but guys, that just about does it for us. Thanks again for watching, and just to let you know, on top of this video tonight, tomorrow we're going to be hitting you up with a whole new standalone segment called Back Issue of the Week, and I'll be setting up Punisher Max Volume 1 for you guys, so I hope you check it out because it's going to be awesome. And as always, remember to pick up your weekly comics.